number one, you need to make a decision. What are you gonna get out of this? You have to make a decision if you want to learn something. This was the problem with college, and I think the problem with college for most people. A lot of people take courses and they never make a decision what they're going to get out of it. They come and they're like, let's see if it's any good. You need to make a decision right now how you're going to benefit. What do you want to fix? Okay, what do you want to repair? What are you having problems with? Look, I spend a lot of money. I spend over $1 million a year on my personal self-improvement. If I go spend time with a guy that's worth $4 billion, I go there with the intention. I'm walking away with this, 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 and this. I don't go to it saying, let's see what happens. Okay? Two things you got to know first. Two things that are keeping you from financial independence. Okay? Number one, what you know. In this order, by the way, what you know is keeping you from financial independence. You don't want to just make money. You want financial independence. That needs to be the target. Your parents said, get a job, make money, save money. Get ready for retirement. That's not the goal. The goal is financial independence. It should be everyone's goal. Even if you don't know that is your goal, independence. This is the target, okay? Freedom, enough money that I can lose money. Enough money that I could waste money. Enough money that I could give money away. Enough money that I could help my mom and not worry about it. Most people can't give because they're too worried about this. Why do you think there's $7.3 trillion sitting in banks? And I try not to use some of that words because it freaks people out. They're like, I don't need indestructible wealth. I don't need a jet. I don't need to be rich. But you do need independence so that you can help other people, okay? This is what's keeping you away from that. Number one, what you know. And number two, what you don't know. Now, if there was only one of these you could learn, I could literally fix your financial situation by handling number one. What you know is in your way. Trust me. What you know is in your way. I'll go over some of that, all right? Like this. How many of you think the money game could be partially mental?
Totally.
Like people have affluent thinking, or
abundance and scarcity.
There's that abundancy thinking. There's some people that are just kind of magical around money. I was never magical around money. Just so everybody knows, it was always hard. Everything has been hard for me. Like, people look at my life today and say, dude, you got it made. Everything the entire time has been difficult. It's getting easier.
Why do you think it was hard?
Because I think it was partially mental. It's the way I was brought up, man. I was brought up in an environment where people suffered. You had to suffer to prosper. You had to work hard. You had to push hard. You had to do long hours. You had to save. It was the mental thing. It was the stuff that I was taught about money. Like, I saw my dad going after it, and I saw my mama. My mama didn't think much of it. My mom just wanted enough money to pay the bills. That's all she wanted. She never dreamed of freedom. Okay? How many of you, in fact, have been told things like this? Money isn't everything. Or, save the pennies. Save the pennies. Save, don't play with money. See, I was taught all that. Now, let's talk about some of the stuff you know. Money isn't everything, but it buys everything, almost everything. It can't buy love, okay? It can't buy, if you're dying, it's not going to probably help you out. But dude, money buys everything. There's nothing money doesn't buy. It'll buy a car, it'll buy a yacht, it'll buy a plane, it'll buy a ticket, it'll buy health insurance, it'll buy operation. My brother just found out his wife's got cancer in her breast. Boom, they have to stop everything they're doing. They got to rush off to Houston. It's going to be, a couple $100,000 surgery. Not covered by her insurance. She doesn't have the life insurance to cover it. She can't go back and buy that now. Bang. 2 little kids. Money isn't everything, but write this down. It buys almost everything. Okay? Life is stressful. How many agree with that? Don't add money as a stress. Yeah, but when you go to Whole Foods and you're shopping and you're like, okay, wait a minute, how much are we spending? That's a form of stress right there. Okay? When you can't pay the landlord, that is stress. When you can't rent the right apartment in the right neighborhood to provide the right security and send your kids to the right schools, you're under stress every second of every day. Okay? Money is accepted almost everywhere. Did you know that? See, everybody's got all these ideas about money. Money won't make you happy. But money won't make you unhappy either.
And if I'm gonna be unhappy.
And if I'm gonna be unhappy. Okay, so look, let's look at some money myths. What you know, some what you knows about money. These are money myths. These are just things that are just not true. And if you're not dealing in the truth, you can't have what is on the other side of it, right? Relationships are hard. That's what we're telling people. So what? The guy goes into the relationship thinking it's going to be hard. Guess what? It's going to be hard. It is a bit mental. Okay, here's some money myths. Number one, money is complicated. Money is not complicated. These are untruths. You got it?
What do you think causes people to think that it's complicated?
Because the education system complicated the whole thing.
When I think about money, I remember when I was like freaking broke, I was like, man, there's no way I can do it. There's just so much to learn and so much to know.
Exactly. Open Barron's magazine or open Forbes magazine or open up CNN Money. They start using EPS, ERVs. They start EBITDA. They start using all these terms. This quarter, nobody explained the words to you. What is money? What is it? How do you get it? How do you keep it? How do you multiply it? How does it work? Okay? People start dropping words, DCRs, leverage, physical, economical, like all these words. Like, do you know what economy even means? Economy means management of a household. That's what economic comes from. Do you know what the word entrepreneur comes from? The word entrepreneur comes from enterprise. Do you know where enterprise comes from? Prize. A person that was enterprising was going for a prize. And that's what makes an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is not a business person. An entrepreneur is somebody that's going for the prize. What's the prize? In business, the prize is money. Now, what I do with that money, look at the Jeff Bezos at Amazon, or look at the Google boys, right? Or look at the Facebook. What do they do with the money? They don't keep money. They use money to expand their network. What were you told? What were you told? Oh, it takes money to make money. The Google boys didn't have any money. Bezos started with no money. Facebook started with no money. It doesn't take money to make money. It takes courage, okay? Here's a myth. Takes money to make money. How do you explain my situation? I didn't have any money. Zero, okay? I didn't have any connections. I did not have a mentor like my friend Ty Lopez had. What's the guy's name that mentored him?
Joel Saladin.
Joel. I didn't have a Joel, dude. I had nobody. You know, my Joel was a drug dealer. Okay, the closest I got to a mentor is a guy's like, hey, why don't you try this, dude? Okay? And he called me all the time, too. I mean, he was a good mentor. He was with me all the time, available constantly, 24/7, 365. My mentor was Mike that wanted to skip school and go drink beer at the Hungry Night at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and pop pills, smoke weed. Those were my mentors. You know, my mentor was my uncle, the millionaire uncle, that he was just the uncle that gives advice he knows better than everybody? Save your money, son. Save your money.
One day you'll be like me.
Save your money, son. Okay? Buy things cheap. Buy them low and sell them high. That's what he said over and over. Okay? Buy government housing. Section 8 housing. You basically invest in an old house you wouldn't want to live in. You'd never want to have anybody live in, but you'll rent it to other people and you'll get the money from the government. That was one of my mentors. I didn't want to do that. Okay? I own a lot of real estate today. None of it is government housing.